With that, I'm going to introduce our moderator, who's going to be managing the first part of our show. Our first moderator is Julia Au. Julia is a NCRA board member and co-treasurer. She is also a NCRA players rock star and a mad lyricist. Take it away, Julia. It's your show now.
Right. Good morning. You can hear me, right? Okay. So I'm going to introduce our first speaker. Our first speaker is Tommy Jackson. Tommy is the Senior Area Supply Chain Manager at Waste Management, responsible for all procurement activities, including equipment, supplies, and services. As part of the Inclusion, Equity, and Diversity group, he wants to be a part of the the vision that Waste Management has of being a diverse and equitable company, one that treats everyone with fairness and embraces inclusion at all levels of the company. Welcome, Tommy.
Thank you for the introduction. I assume I know how to run this thing. Is it the blue button? Yes. Okay, and then if I want to reverse, what do I do? Okay. All right. Like the moderator said, I'm Tommy Jackson, and I'm here to represent Waste Management and what we're doing for inclusion, equity, and diversity. I noticed that you got it in the reverse. We chose to go that way and not do it that way because it means something for our drivers. So inclusion, equity, and diversity and the impact initiative that we have in Northern California and Nevada. So I represent Waste Management for Northern California and Nevada. So that includes the entire Bay Area as well as Nevada, Northern Nevada. Okay, I'm pushing my clicker. Nope. There we go. All right, you did it. Okay. So here, as the moderator just introduced me, I'm the Senior Area Supply Chain Manager. Been with the company for 12 years, and I'm responsible for all of the supplies, equipment, everything we need to run our business. And why did I become a part of Waste of the Inclusion, Equity, and Diversity initiative here at Waste Management? Is because I wanted to be a part of the initiative because I wanted to be a part of the change and the division that Waste Management has of being a diverse and equitable company. One that treats everyone with fairness, one that embraces inclusion and at all levels in the company. Okay, thank you. Inclusion, equity, and diversity at Waste Management. At Waste Management, we embrace and cultivate respect, trust, open communications, and diversity of thought and people. At Waste Management is committed to environmental stewardship, positive social impact, and sound governance. Inclusion, equity, and diversity. We are nearly 50,000 people strong and from many places and many backgrounds. And it's our amazing differences that make us stronger. Our commitment to inclusion, equity, and diversity is rooted in our values and woven into our business strategies as we work towards a sustainable tomorrow. So at Waste Management, we have two groups, and that's across the enterprise. So those two groups was named by the members. One was named Tapestry, which basically is a woven and means and woven by woven cloth by many and has many colors. And that was it was actually written by Maya Angelou. And we all should know that diversity makes for a rich tapestry. And we must understand that all the threads of the tapestry are equal in value, no matter what their color. Again, Maya Angelou. And our chair for that is Shivati Karki Pearl. She wasn't able to make it today, but she's on Zoom. And then our Women's Empowerment Network, we specifically call that out because one of our focuses is to be on women. And so that group is called WIN. And that's chaired by Erica Alexandra Solis, and she's here with us today. So diversity at Waste Management. Our board is, and it starts at the top. And so how diverse is our organization? How diverse is our leadership? How diverse is our company? So our board of directors, 22% racial and ethnic minorities, 33% women. Our senior leadership is 22% racial and ethnic minorities and 33% women. Officials and managers is 22% racial and ethnic minorities and 21% women. That's for about 50,000 people. And then our workforce of 50,000 is about 44% racial and ethnic minorities with 18% women. So again, we're focusing on how do we grow our women in leadership and at Waste Management. So impact groups, what are they? Peer groups comprise of members and allies with the intent to provide the enterprise with recommendations as well as execute local efforts to solve business challenges impacting diversity and inclusion in keeping with Waste Management commitments and values. And so what are our commitments? Our commitment are to our people first, doing the right thing the right way. It's also to success with integrity, again, doing the right thing the right way. And then what are our values? Inclusion and diversity, customers, safety, environment, and again, with a focus on doing the right thing the right way. Why are these groups established? To help us move towards Waste Management goals to be a global role model for inclusion, equity, and diversity. We can participate. Who can participate? Membership is driven by employees. Employees volunteer to join and conduct activities during normal work hours. How are impact groups structured? Okay, we'll start with our council members, and I'll just focus on the executive sponsors first. So the executive sponsors are Nikolaj Solvist, and he's a senior vice president and chief digital officer. And then Davina Rankin is also an executive vice president and chief financial officer. Tamala Oates Forney is a senior vice president and chief people officer. And Tiana Carter is a senior director in culture and equipment and engagement. And the other folks are also on the council. They're at the director level as well. Impact group structure, our mission, creating intentional opportunities within WM for all of us to engage, develop, and grow. And so again, the structure is the INED Leadership Council, the Executive Sponsor Council, the Business Champions, and then the Chair Network. And then the metrics that we're using are going to be % annual membership growth, number of executed internal events, number of participants engaged in activities, and then professional growth, external relationships. And to the right is our advocate awareness team, and then also our professional development, external partnerships, and frontline engagement. And then subgroups up under those, on each one of those categories of technology and data, sub-chairs, our marketing communication sub-chairs, as well as our secretary and treasurer group. So what are we doing on our calendar? So for the entire year, we've identified all of the events that we're going to focus on in 2022 for the calendar, starting with January, Martin Luther King Junior Day, February, Black History Month, Women's History Month, and et cetera. And then, so every month we have an event that we're going to be focused on, and how we activate those groups is each month we'll activate our culture calendar through various engagements, including examples such as courageous conversations, employee stories, videos, and screensavers. And lastly, that's it. Question and answers. And I finished with the minute left over.
Don't leave yet.
Okay.
Thank you, Tommy. Oh, okay. So David forgot to talk about questions. You said that. So we will take one question from the audience here. So if you have a question, raise your hand. And then for those joining us online, please find David Hott, who is our Q&A manager, and direct message him, and he will provide, he will filter the questions. Does anyone have a question here? This, wait, Rebecca. Where's the mic? I can't see. Oh, all right, question. Rebecca. Huh.
How long has
Oh.
waste management had this program going on? Can you repeat that question
Okay,
for me?
so, oh, there. Rebecca's question was, how long has Waste Management had this program?
Okay. Yeah, we started, there's been various programs going on, but this full initiative across the enterprise actually started back in the summer of 2021. So we're fairly, with the overall initiative that we have throughout the company, it's been going on roughly about a year.
Okay. Do we have a question online? No. Does anyone else have a question in this room? Oh, there, Veronica.
Hi, thank you. Thank you so much for that presentation. Very interesting. And I'm curious, how are you reaching out to like the younger generation, you know, women and people of color to join the industry? How is this initiative maybe reaching out to those who don't know about, you know, the opportunities in waste management?
I want to give Erica an opportunity to speak on that one since she's one of our impact chairs. Could you pass the mic to her, please?
Yes, good morning, everyone. My name is Erica Solis, and I'm chair of the Women's Impact Group. As Tommy mentioned, we have 4 pillars that we are focusing on, and every quarter we focus on each one. The first one is advocacy and awareness. The second one is professional development. Third one is partnerships with community, and then the third is, the fourth is employee engagement. And to answer your question, I think the main focus for us for that pillar is community partnerships. So we're going to be partnering with community organizations to be able to get employees to understand more about, you know, what we can do within the company, as well as be able to partner with. There was a company that we're partnering women in recycling and solid waste, and so we're trying to get more awareness for the employees that are working here, as well as we're partnering with companies that can also know more about the industry as well. So just a lot of engagement within the company and the community.
Thank you. I think we're going to move on. So thank you, Tommy. Thank you for all the great questions.